check. All right, check. Yo, oh, I'm so lucky, dude. Yay. I had to reset the mic and everything, man. What a pain in the butt that was. I apologize. This is going to be really loud right now. Okay, we're good. All right, welcome. I am Darkbolt Algo, and thanks for joining me on another Morning Watches building session. Yes, today is Monday, February 7th, 2021, and I have been fighting with some charts this morning, man. It's been kicking my butt. How come? Seriously? I'm here. Just give me a second. So I've got this other monitor set up over here, right? And I'm telling you what, I have had the worst luck with it because for some reason it just won't resize for me. And I don't know how to get it unstuck on Windows, right? To yeah, it's just not wanting to do anything for me. So I'll just get rid of it. Try again. All right, welcome. I apologize. Tommy? Tommy who? What are you talking about? Bro. I'm so confused. You lost me. I am so lost. All right, let's get into it. So, lots of things today. Lots of good things happening. If I can get into my futures account, I would be even happier because I would love to trade me some futures. But it looks like it wants to be a pain in my behind. All right, one last thing. I think I got it finally. Wow, what a pain in the butt. I have to have it up so I can see what's going on with futures. And it's just not loading correctly. Anyway, I apologize. I mean, if there's not one technical difficulty, it's another, right? All right, we're at it. Let's go. From power. Bro. My dude. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what, man. Did you watch the new Tommy spinoff? What did you just send me? Last. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I watched that last night, man. Oh, dude, fire, 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 fire. All right, so all right, let's get into it. We have a bunch of news to get over, and then we will get into the move. So I'm Dark Pool Algo. I'm a smart money dark pool and block trade algorithm analyst. What I do is I stare at charts all day and I try to find divergence, and then I capitalize on that divergence. Meaning, we look for stocks that are going to make a greater than expected move, one direction or the other. We use several tools for that. One of the main tools we use is FlowTrade. This Flow Index is the smart money dark pool and block trade Flow Index algorithm, a software that they have created. It tracks large institutions, hedge funds, smart monies, dark pools, block trades, big boys, multi-million dollar transactions. From that, it's created its own little flow index, is what they're calling it. And the flow index, right? The flow index is it shows what smart money is doing. And just real quickly, because I know we've got some new people joining the stream, the flow index is able to track through the so the flow index tracks all of the transactions. And if you're a large institution and you want to buy $500 million worth of shares in a stock, you can't just dump that all at once, because what will happen is it'll create artificial liquidity, right? And once the liquidity is actually realized, your position will settle in lower than where you bought it, so you would be in a negative position to begin with. So what they do is, prices coming down, they're buying people selling out of those positions, and then when they conjoin, right, confluence, conjunction, anyway, when they meet, right, and price starts to settle and reverse, smart money is getting out of that position. So as they're getting out, right, there's that divergence. And what we're looking for is, we look for that divergence, which is where smart money, hold on one second. All right. So what we do is we look for divergences in instances where, for example, this XLNX chart over here, prices is higher than the flow index, so the flow index is selling out of their positions. Well, that's going to drag price action down to the point of divergence, which is at about 185, right? So price should come back down to that point of divergence, and then it'll start moving from there. Etsy, for example, we have divergence occurs here at like this 140, 141. So we would expect, since the flow index is so strong and they're net buying into this position, that this divergence will play out. So if we would have got in here at the bottom, this divergence here is already played out, and so we're trying to catch a divergence. There's a bunch of other things that we look at as well from a Keltner challenge perspective. I use a variety of tools just to get us the best information that we can. General rule of thumb, though, is if we're below the 200, we're not going to try to go long on things, especially if we're below the 200 and the 200, which is a red line, and the 50, which is the blue line. Okay, we're going to get into the news, and we will get going off of that. I use Keltner channels pretty much exclusively. We will be working with some new partners this year to provide you all with some different indicators. Okay. Not the simpler trading indicators, but we've got another partnership that we're set up for people that are just looking for an indicator package. Everything that we do works hand in hand with FlowTrade. That's our base product. That's our longest lasting longest term relationship that we have. And so anything that we do with predicted trades, for example, they're beast levels. It works perfectly with the FlowTrade system, in that if you find the divergence and you find your beast levels, you are really, 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 really laser focusing in on the best value for the strike that you're going to get, right? Getting a better value and getting it at a better entry point allows your risk, right, to be less, because there's less room for the entry to go against you. And I'm getting super technical, and I'm not trying to. All right, so I'm also working with someone that's going to help me with the YouTube channel. We're going to get a little bit of optimization going on, and we're just going to grow. Okay, so let's roll, shall we? All right. Swedish price comparisons firm PriceRunner said it's suing Google for about 2.1 billion in services. Well, you know what happens when a billion-dollar company gets sued? Their stock rallies. For real though, nice little sell-off. Google is just kind of chopping. Look at this move, big old rally, pullback, held the 50. So we do have a good setup happening in Google on the 4-hour. Why do I say that? Well, we're at the 4-hour Keltner channel mid, daily cloud bottom support. 1321, 34 EMAs are stacked positive. We're above the 50. We're above the 200. Our histograms are coming down a little bit, but we are double green, right? We love that double green, which means that we're stacked positive. And we can easily bounce off of here from the ready and fire. So we get a mid thrust buy, Google daily bottom. I would look for a move to 4-hour top, that 3,000 target, right? Above that, we have weekly coming in at 3,100. Does it have enough juice to get us there? I'm not sure. I'm definitely going to be targeting those 3,000s. Contrarian, if we fail, right? If we come back out of the daily, the purple, and hit the 4-hour mid, the green, and break through the 21, right, which is the yellow, and below this white line, so we're breaking support, then the downside target would be the 4-hour bottom or this monthly cloud top, right? So downside targets would be 2775, or excuse me, 2756, right? 2750. Below the 4-hour, we retest the 200 all the way down here at 2688, and below the 200, we find a different position because it's going to be crazy. All right. Dish Network's announced it reached a new carrier agreement with a company. Local stations have been immediately restored. I hate that they do this. Seriously, it's such a pain. Yeah, we're not even going to give them any effort. Snow, brr. Yes, let's go. Printer presses are on with this bad boy. Okay, what we're doing is we're coming up to the 4-hour top, 200-day SMA. Above 293, right? That 290 is the psychological key level for snow. Above 290, we hit 310, 320. Snow's going to rip. I have to be so careful now with what I'm saying because I have to pay attention to what the algorithm is. Hold on one second. Hold on, let me just ask this guy real quick. Do you need this before the stream starts, or does it matter? All right, Snow, put it on your list. We're gonna trade it today. Okay. AstraZeneca in the news. Subsidiary of the company will terminate its 1.3 billion pension plan later this year. What? Ooh, that's bad. Yeah, that's not good. They do have earnings coming up. They're setting up for a reversal, but with that news, they're basically saying that a U.S. subsidiary of the company will terminate. It doesn't say what it is, but it's terminating a pension plan. If it cracks 55, it's going down to 54 and possibly even way lower than that. Okay. NTLA, that came up on the scan this week. Upgraded to outperform from Oppenheimer. It's just chop fest. Stay away from it. I mean, you could trade to the 4-hour top, daily top, so 100 to 105, above 105, or excuse me, above 106, 1.8 to 118. That could be a fun one. Not super interested in it though. There's a bunch of other stocks that I'd rather trade. CNA, for example. CNA Financial. Oh, we have lots of earnings today. Earnings this week, right? Speaking of earnings, they missed on revenue or earnings per share. And they raised their dividend. So, I mean, other than that, it's been looking pretty good. Speaking of, let's look at the financial sector. We need to figure out where they're going to rotate into this week, right? XLF, nice week last week, coming up to the 4-hour top. So XLF, if it can get above 40.30, it's going to hit 41. If that moves, then we look at holdings within that ETF, like MasterCard, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan is a great one to trade. right? It's so fun. Most of these are doing a nice little cup and handle. We did have the 5200 Death Cross. It's going to get a little sketchy, so be careful. American Airlines agreed to buy another additional. All right, so here's the deal. American Airlines agreed to buy an additional 23 737 MAX 8 aircraft from Boeing. BA is going to rip off that news. I don't trade Boeing, but if you want to trade it, bull flag forming. If you were smart, you could get in above 211 for a move to 217. Boeing is going to move today, so is American Airlines. Right, already starting with that bull flag. I would rather just buy comments on this. We do have an inverse head and shoulders forming. We're at the neckline, right? So the safe move is above 1750 for a move to 1819. I may buy some commons. Ooh, good morning, Johnny. Haha. Oh, let's just get you back over here. Okay. Good morning, Johnny. I love that you said that. My grandmother was full-blown German. Like, she got trapped over here when the war broke out. Long story for another time. Spirit Airlines and Frontier, parent company. Frontier today announced a definitive merger agreement valued at $6.6 billion, under which the companies will combine, creating America's most competitive ultralight airfare line. Oh, nice. That is in direct competition with Allegiant. Yes, this is good news. I'm going to be looking to buy the dip on this and possibly... Well, they've got earnings tomorrow. So I'm going to wait till after earnings on Spirit Airlines. Spirit shareholders receive 1.912 Frontier shares plus 223 in cash for each share owned, equal to... When does this... Oh, so yeah, check it. I'm buying Spirit Light. So what I want to have happen is this. They have earnings coming out tomorrow. This deal is going to close on Friday. So here's the deal. So Spirit Airlines Frontier Group, parent company of Frontier Airlines Inc., today announced a definitive merger agreement valued at $6.6 billion, under which the companies will combine, creating the most competitive ultra-low fare airline. Spirit shareholders receive 1.9126 Frontier shares plus $2.13 in cash for each share owned, equal to a value of 25.83, right? Which is way below with what the airline's worth right now. Per share, Frontier's closing price on Friday. I'd have to look, but I don't know if you buy now, if you get that deal. I would have, of course, hindsight's 2020, but I would have loved to have gotten some of these because I think airlines will start to recover and there's a lot of money in them. I'm thinking buying commons on these, so just so you're aware. But if I do that, I'm going to wait till earnings. I'm going to wait till after earnings, right? Just because I don't want to play the volatility or any pullbacks to sub 4 hour. Like if we pull back 4 hour mid, like 22, I'm going to buy commons. Okay. Bath and Body Works. They changed their ticker symbol, I think. Anyway, entered an accelerated share buyback program and will buy 1 billion of its own outstanding stock. What does that mean? It means that there's buyers coming in. So what's it going to do? It's going to raise the price. Do we want to play? Check the options on it because it may be super implied volatility, knowing that $1 billion worth of these shares are going to be bought up. So we should get a rally. I don't know if that was just that one move right there, but definitely should help this stock recover a little bit. And the beer bug, right? Actually, Sam Adams mentioned positively in Barings, saying over the past 2 years, its stock chart has resembled this steeply sloped mountain peak, having closely tracked the hard seltzer hype on the way up and tumbling alongside the ensuing disillusionments. Have you all ever really looked at the Sam Adams ticker on the daily? Look at here, check it. You see my deviation lines are almost vertically down. Check this, yo. All right. Pre-pandemic, trading at around 400, right? Little dip, start getting that recovery, right, into April of 2020, right? Well, 382 to 13 $100. $1,000 per share. Can you imagine that? Right? Can you imagine being the guy that owns 100 shares at 400, and the stock goes to 1,400? You just became, that's $100,000 profit. Well, guess what? What goes up must come down. When it went from 1,400, it's back down to trading at 400. Imagine being the guy that bought the dip right here at 1,250 and being like, oh, stocks only go back up. Stocks go up. Yeah. Anyway, earnings coming up for them next week. Yeah, it's I can't with it. It's pathetic. Stay away from Sam Adams. Hasbro had earnings. Peloton, lots of hype about Peloton lately. I'm staying away until it recovers to 50, which is this blue line. So I'm gonna chill on Peloton until it's above 40. Just because the weekly bottom is a good entry point for me, right? Weekly bottom. So actually, let's do 37. Above 37, it moves to 40. From 40 to 50, from 50 to 55, from 55 back up to 65, 70. However, keep in mind, $70 is, or $55 is the price of Peloton back in November of 2021. All right, this is a 23% move. It's cup and handle. It's going to be a momentum burner today for sure. So this is by no means financial advice, and just play your levels. The levels, we've been talking about them forever now. It does have earnings coming up tomorrow, so I would just stay away. Yeah, that would be like, that's worse than buying GameStop at highs. Okay. Peloton has earnings tomorrow. This is all hype, right? There's everybody from Disney to, oh, we need to look at Disney. Crap. Disney, Shopify, and Nvidia. We have to look at those ones. Don't let me forget to give you guys levels on Disney, Shopify, and Nvidia, okay? All right, yeah, so don't believe the hype is all I can hear right now. I can just hear Chuck D in my ear. Don't believe the hype. All right. Well, NC Red, or who? From Public Enemy, who was, yeah, boy, I can't remember his name. It's not Chuck D. Yeah, I can't remember. That's weird. Huh. I watch a TV show with this kid's on it. Anyway. Earnings after the close. TTWO, one of my favorite ones to watch. Take-Two Entertainment. They should have a pretty decent recovery move. Like, they moved pre-market they moved on Friday pretty good, right? They held their gains, right? Big old bullfly breakout into earnings, monthly mid, daily top, 4-hour top. Maybe pull back to 170, like that 170. They have earnings after the close, so we have to stay away from it or just chill on it. Chegg is another one that has earnings after the close today, right? This is a pretty decent one. Chegg is the educational company for, yeah, it's an education, but again, earnings, stay away from it. TDC, to the trade desk, has earnings today. Come on. This is a fun one to trade. Or what is it? Teradata? I thought this was a different company. Oh, TCD is a different one. All right. THC, which is, THC. Tenant Health Company. Oof, that looks like death on a platter. Nuan. Y'all remember trading this last year? I traded this a bunch. Nuan. Yeah. It's a up and down stock for sure. And that's about it. Before the bell, AMG. Oh, Baba had earnings today. Baba. How come I didn't get news on Baba? Well, you see what's happening with Baba, right? Bad earnings, like 110 again. 4-hour break into the weekly cloud. So below 116. 114 comes, 112, 110. Baba, go boom. Speaking of China, China's PBOC injects 20 billion won via 7-day reverse repo on February 7th. 150 billion won due today, so 130 billion won will be drained from the market. Oh, it's not even, are you effing kidding me? You're still not going to give me data for that. You are such a liar face. Let's check it out over here. Ha. Why is the won rallying? All right. Or this is yen, right? So the won is different from the yen, just so y'all know that. Anyway, that's a little sneak peek. Little sneak peeker. All right, moving on. Event calendar today, consumer credit for December at 3 p.m. Eastern, and then that's it. Let's just run through this last little bit. There's some key things in here, so hopefully you'll grab these tidbits and we can get going. Am I doing on time? All right, I got to speed it up a little bit. U.S. stocks are moderately lower to start a busy week of earnings, inflation data, CPI, and other macro concerns as Treasury yields remain elevated at 1.92 for a 10-year, or for the 10-year after. For the 10-year, all right, after strong economic data last week adds to growing expectations the Fed will need to ramp up interest rates in 2022 to fight surging prices. Absolutely. It's going to happen. Just get ready for it. FedWatch tool is pricing in a 100% chance of a Fed March rate hike. I think we all know that, with more than a third of those bets suggesting the Fed may increase its benchmark rate by 50 points. It'll increase it to 50 points. Okay, it's not going to increase it 50 points. It'll get to 50. Yeah. So all we can do is trade the charts in front of us and not get sucked into these value growth stocks, right? Let's focus on a handful of stocks that we can just get super familiar with, and we have to start diversifying a little bit. We're really kind of tech heavy right now, but we will find some things. Okay. Yes. So a big week of inflation on deck, led by January CPI on Thursday, as the consumer price index probably jumped 7.3% in January from a year ago, the largest annual advance since early 1982. Oil prices ease as WE crude slips off a fresh 7-year high on Friday. China stocks climbed the most in 2 months in a holiday catch-up trade after being closed all last week. In Asian markets, the Nikkei index fell 191 points. Ooh, that's a drop. Shanghai gained 2%. Hang Seng edged higher 6 points. And in Europe, the DAX is up about 20 points, with the FTSE 100 adds 0.35%. Bitcoin and other crypto assets are surging, absolutely, adding to the tail end of a strong week, up 5% to 52,000. Ethereum is up 4%. Okay. Stocks finished last week with gains across the board, as the three indexes were positive, with the Dow up 1%, S&P 1.6%, and the Nasdaq 2.4%, though ending Friday with a late day pullback to pair its daily weekly gains. Remember, we're just doing the ups and the downs. Come on. Treasuries fell on Friday as the 10-year yield briefly climbed above 1.93%, and stocks erased early losses to finish in the green after a better than expected U.S. jobs report increased bets of tighter Federal Reserve monetary policy. Payrolls came in at a 3-month high, and crude hit another 7-year high, topping 93 per barrel. It did settle below that, right? Crude? What happens with the crude? Yes. Crude hit that 90 mark, right? We were like, oh, it's going to hit 90. Well, now comes the pullback, right? Now comes the profit taking after the big moves. Okay, I'm going to run through these futures really quickly. I think that our levels have been pretty decent, so I don't think I need to modify them at all. Modify them too much, excuse me. Now, here's the moves, right? This is what we need to figure out what today is going to bring us. So we pulled back, we rallied up to the 618, we pulled back, we touched the 200 on Friday. I didn't realize that we actually came down and touched the 200, and this is that 312 retracement that I was saying we might get this. Okay, so we kissed it, and now we're trying to move back up through the 50, the 618, the 50-day, and moving up. So here's the move. This is the anticipated move up. Was this one right here? Up, down, up, right? So this would be the up. We came back and we touched the 382. Now, today is really a decision day. Do we overtake the 21 and close above the high of this low bar, right? We close up here somewhere, or even up here, right? That would be great news. And we can do a little bit of, we can either begin to settle into some chopping, right? From the 200 to the 50, we can chop in that range. right? We can maybe, if we overtake this high, right, we would definitely need to see a little bit of pullback before we continue our fifth wave, right? Fifth wave to new all-time highs, okay? This third leg is typically longer than the first, but I don't know if we're going to get that much. It just, right. So what I'm trying to tell you is a couple things can happen. We can either bounce off of here and begin a increasing move up, or we can simply find a zone, right? We can chop within that zone. And then finally, I know it's like, well, duh, dude. I get it, but I just want you to visualize it, okay? And then finally, we would reject this level and look at an ultimate course correction. Like what I did there? Course correct. All right. So yeah, there's lots of different things that can happen. Today and tomorrow are going to be pretty important to set the tone. Looking at this on the 4-hour, everything looks pretty decent so far for that move up. Like I said, we kissed the 382. We rallied through the 50%, rejected the 618, rejected the 50, pulled back to the 382 again, right? Now we can either chop in this range bound from 44.38 to 45.78, right? Range bound trading in there so that things kind of settle out a little bit, or we get some serious volume and momentum coming in. Now remember, this 200-day on the 4-hour is going to be pretty significant overhead resistance. It's previous lows. It's a level, right? There is a level right there that's going to 46.0. Just call it 4600. So 4600 resistance, 4400 possible support, 200 point range. I'd hate to stay range bound, but if we look at this, and here we go, range bound till March, right? Range bound till the Fed meeting, right? It could be a thing. So yeah, the next couple days are going to be super important. We just need to keep an eye on it. Stay nimble. Remember that we can play the ups and the downs, right? Just trying to see a little pattern here on the 30-minute NQ. Rally, rally, drop. Rally, rally, drop. Rally, rally, drop. The 30-minute ES, right? We hit that key level of support. Rallied up through it. And then we've not made... So we came back. We made a higher, no. So we made a higher low. We need to come up and make a higher high on the 30-minute. Yeah, we've got some overhead resistance. We've got some zones, so it should be interesting. Okay, moving on. How am I doing on time? Okay. Looking at the NQ. Very similar situation. Just get rid of some of this stuff. So we rallied up, we overtook the 200, briefly overtook the 21, we pulled back, right? We rejected the 200 into 382. If this was a stock, I'd be like, oh, we're downtrending. But we traded this entire zone. We're gonna try to get back up. On the NQ, it's gonna be super important, super important that we overtake the 221 cross down, right? I'm leaning bearish on the NQ. Or 15,000 retest. So we'll need to get above 15,000, maybe touch 15,237, and then we're going to look at that move to the upside, right? So this type of move here, right? Something like that. Or contrarian, it's very possible we could do this. right? So breaking it down to the 4-hour. Have we regained the 200 on the 4-hour yet? No, we haven't. We're still below it. We took the 21 on the 50, but we haven't regained the 200 on the 4-hour. Looking at it on the 30-minute, right? Come on, load. Load, give me that data. Come on, where's it at? There it is, finally. Takes a minute to populate sometimes. So looking at the 30-minute, right, which is our, if we're going to scalp, we're intraday traders, and we look at the 30-minute chart a lot. Maybe a little inverse head and shoulders, but we rejected the 200 once on Friday. We came up, we didn't quite get to it again, but let's see if I can give this a little bit better view. Currently, we're consolidating with the 2150 below the 200. Like I said, it's the top of this zone is super important, right? Let's look at the 30. If we start overtaking the 30, then we can start building up into our upper primary time frames. Okay. Right now, though, we're just wedging and chopping. So NQ should be a little sketchy today. And then the Dow is looking a little bit healthier than the NQ. As far as moves in the 30-minute setting up go, we're going to get that 50-21 crossover. We're going to retest the 200, right? So we're going to rally up 35 158. Above that, we test the 618 again, and we trade back up into the top of this zone. If we reject this 200, then guess what? We're going to come back down and make a lower low, right? Following this. Like, I'm not that good. There's no way I can just nail this, right? Yeah. Oh. Right, so it's being squeezed, okay? Looking at it on the daily. The Dow on the daily. The daily Dow. The daily Dow. The daily Dow goes wow. All right, so the Dow looks definitely a little bit more healthy. I'm just going to move that over so that you can see the move. It rallied up. It overtook its 200, broke through the 50-21, back tested, held the 20 or held the 50, and now it's fighting through. It's fighting through its 21. 50-200. Sorry, I gotta make some of these a little bigger. Okay, so 250-21. It kind of looks like this is a good bounce area. So we're going to rally up. We're going to retest the 618 retracement. We're going to go retest previous highs. And then we can take a move upward, or we chop within this range here, right? And just let the 5200 squeeze us, right? Lots of things can happen with the Dow. Looking at the Russell. All right, what happened with the Russell on the daily? Right, a little head and shoulders forming here, right? So if it can break its previous highs of 2014, move to 2036, retake highs at 2061, above that, we're going to have a recovery on the Russell, right? So small caps, right? With the NQ having some having some problems, maybe the move is into the Russell. So we're going to look at maybe a small caps day. We'll definitely know after the bell. Snow and Roblox, yes. What did I tell you we needed to trade today? Disney, Nvidia, Snow. Disney, Nvidia, Snow. All right. Bringing it down to the 4-hour, just a little bit more of the same, right? It's still got its 200 up here, and the 50, the 2150 are fighting with this trend resistance. Mogul to tree line to mogul, bringing it down to the 30-minute. All right, it's starting to look a little bit better. We're starting to get some stack positive moving averages. You can definitely see that inverse head and shoulders a little bit more clearly here. We're going to go up and retest highs and lows. So 2006, 2010, right? That's the 200. So if the Russell gets above 215 today, or 2015 on the Russell's going to have a pretty decent move, right? Liking that inverse head and shoulders. All right, that's it for that. And then finally, let's just do a quick check-in on gold, and then we got to get into the plays because I got to get out of here pretty soon. Sorry, my daughter's here. It was our weekend with her, and so I got to take her to school, and she likes to get there early. All right, here we go. Gold, what's it doing? It's still continuing to make its move up like we thought it was going to. It overtook its 200. We're waiting for that 50 to cross over the 200 again and get those stack positive moving averages, right? The last time they were stack positive in the way that we would want them to be, it's been quite a while. Quite a while for gold. So, pretty important. With crypto getting a lot of capital brought back into it, maybe we get a pullback, retest 1806 or 1800, or we just continue to make this move up. 1826.50, finally 18. We could hit 1850, but that would be that probably wouldn't be till mid-February or end of February. Right, so 1, 2, we're in our third leg. Gold is going to be fun. So I would look at trading gold. Yeah, it's making a move. It's getting ready to do the dang thing. To do the thing. Yes, 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 yes. There it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gold is going to make a move. Series of higher lows and higher highs. This is a key level for it right here. See how many times it's kissed this demand zone or this supply zone? All right, look at this. The supply zone's been pretty solid for gold for quite a while, right? 1 attempt, 2 attempt, massive failure, right? 1 attempt, 2 attempt, 3 attempt, finally broke through, made a new high. Well, made a new high for this run. Now, this is the stack positive moving averages I was talking about. 2150, 200. When those get stack positive, look what happens. Big moves. When they get stack negative, same thing happens. Big moves. All right. Crude. Let me show you the 4 hour so that you can see the move. Right. Big rally, new high, pullback. Look for support at 90 and 89. A 50% retracement would put us back around here. So that's what we're looking for in crude. I think crude continues to move. So we can look at like Exxon and Chevron and all of those for dip buy opportunities. ZB bonds, can you see what's happening here? It is, right, TLT is making, it's chopping. One is chopping. If it continues to chop, then we can kind of expect that to happen with the ES. And then finally the yen is, what is the yen doing? Rally, pullback, rally, pullback. The yen is making a giant wedge. I'm looking at TLT a little bit closer here. Rally up, lower high, lower high, lower low, lower low. Should get another move up and then another lower move down. Okay. Sorry. Oh, I need to go get adjusted. All right. So that's it for the futures. Just a real quick overview of our daily watch list plays. Apple rally up stack positive moving averages. I think Apple hits one test wins 176.50 is what I'm looking at, and then the 180s on Apple. Let me make sure I have those because I don't think I put them in my. Don't think I put them in. I did not. I like the Apple 180s for maybe later this week. Come on. Seriously? $180 calls. Yeah, those 180 calls. So those should be a doubler for you if you want to do a double up. 180s should go 24 to 50, 24 cents to 50 cents, right? Pretty easy. AMD, Snowline, reject. I need to make these a little bit bigger. I'll work on this chart today though. Tree line looks like recovery. AMD is going to follow Qualcomm and Nvidia, right? And possibly Google with the doji on the daily, looking for like I said, a move up to 3,000. Nvidia, I'm looking for it to 125, 128, 133, 142 to the upside. If it breaks 119, 112, 104 down. Google, we already talked about. Doji on the daily, we're looking for it to recover the snow line at 2904 and then make a move back up to 3,000. Nvidia, right? Nvidia rejected its 200 on the daily, right? It rejected this. It's pulled back. It's made a lower low to this tree line. This is the chart for Friday. I don't have extended hours data on this one yet, right? So it made a lower low. Kind of held, well, let's see. It closed below the 50, so Nvidia could possibly 235 support. Then I would target 245, 250, 260. Rejects 245. We come back down 230, 235, 230. All right, so Nvidia 235, 230, the downside. Nvidia to the upside 245, 250, 252. Tesseract. Tesla's looking pretty bearish. It's below its 200, it's below its 50, it's below the 21. Rally up, rally up. This reminds me of the Russell, right? Remember when we looked at the Russell? Kind of. So yeah. 928, 942, 955 for Tesla. To the upside, downside. 903, 860, 835. Okay. Spider, what does this look like? This looks just like Nvidia, right? Like almost to the T. SPY below the 200, held the 21, did a 618 pullback. Typically, we would look for 450, 454, and then 458. If we reject 454, then we can look at 443, 440, and then 435. The QQ looks more like the SPX. No, the Qs looks like this. Looks consolidation to me right here, right? 360 is a powerful level for QQQ. Above 360, I would look at 366. 375, below 360, right? 352, excuse me, 351. Below that, 340 gets pretty ugly. Okay, all right, let's get into it. The smart money dark pool block. Oh, I gotta hurry. All right, get your trade or get your request into me now. Real quick overview of this chart setup. The white bars are price action. The purple line is the regular algorithm line. Blue lines are dark pool block trades. Red lines are regular block trades, and white lines are good time. Don't need that. No. A white line is when a regular block trade and a dark pool print on top of each other. Those are major inflection areas. Keep an eye on them. Draw a line in your chart. Watch what happens when price gets to it. Right? It's going to do some things. What a rip on crude. Crude is making a move uptown. All right. Who was here first? It's morning, Laz. Morning, Johnny. Morning, Terry. Morning, Pete. And watchlist. What's up? What did I tell you we wanted to trade? Snow. Nvidia. Disney. All right. You first with Tesla, Terry? All right. What is Tesla doing? Tesla's trading with the flow index, right? We have dual dark pools, 929.24, 933.52, dark pool resistance. It should cycle down, 904, dark pool 891. If we break, there's a gap to fill, right? There's a gap down to 850. So if Tesla breaks below 882.76, it begins gap filling down to 848.50. Okay, if we're looking at it from a cycle perspective, up, dark pool support, dark pool failure, dark pool support, right? Dark pool resistance, support, support, resistance, support, support, resistance, 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 or back down to support. So 1, 2, 1, 2. We might get one more little bloopity boop up 930. That would make a serious little head and shoulders there. But the flow index is pointing down. It's trading with price action pretty much 1-to-1. Are these the bat ears, Laz? Do you see bat ears here? I kind of do, to be honest with you. I've learned not to try to front run and short Tesla, but it's not like it's had struggles with this 945 level for quite a while now. The safe move is Tesla 945 to 990, 983. There's that trading zone right there. It's just clear as day, right? Hits it, goes up, comes back, fails, moves down. It's also range bound. So snow in fall. You guys remember that song? All right, I gotta move my block trades up. Let's give it last 7 days of blocks, nothing except for this dark pool at 256.26. All this other divergence is played out. And when I talk about divergence, this is what I mean. You have the flow index heading in one direction. You have price action heading in the opposite direction of the flow index. Well, what happens at that point? Price diverged from the flow index. Well, the flow index is continuing to sell out of these positions, right? If you own the stock at this position here and it's rising, what are you doing? You're selling out. So continued selling strength. Looks as if though that little wackadoodle trend line that I was trying to draw for support, Snow is at a key level. It did get that news, remember? Got that news from this morning. Upgraded to overweight from equal at Morgan Stanley, raises their target to 390 from 344. So their price target's way up here. With the flow index making a series of lower lows, right? If it breaks this trend line support, I think we get a pullback, right? 265, or excuse me, 271, 265. Let the flow index kind of settle out a little bit. I'll let this divergence play out. The divergence is, let's see, I traded out to there, right? Continue to sell out. This divergence is traded out. I think we still have original divergence at right around 260, right? We could come back to 260 and still form a nice uptrending Yeah, we couldn't hit 260, but we could come and hit. We could hit 261. We could hit here pretty easily and form big old head and shoulders. So yeah, snow's just at a key level, like, right? It's at a key level. So does that upgrade news give it enough juice to pull away? We'll have to find out. Okay. The next one up was Roblox. I looked at Roblox this morning and was looking at buying some commons on it. There is definitely bearish divergence, right? Right off. All right, so this would be a white line. I don't have my chart set up to hold colors, so I'm just gonna have to do this. We have white line on Roblox. Right there, 63.75. There's a dark pull on a regular block that it printed. It's rejected there. This divergence, right? That's played out. That's played out. Right? That's trading with price. The flow index made a higher low. If it can make a higher high, I think that Roblox actually has a chance to move back up towards some of these regular block magnets at 65, 66, 67, 67, 68, right? There's a long road ahead of it that way. If it can get, like I said, above, right? Roblox above 64.40 for long gap fill. Dark pool magnet 66. If it rejects this, right, and takes out below 63.33, I think we come back down and test 62, 61.50, and 60.50. Y'all can see that, right? Okay. So this is what I'm looking at. So there's not, I mean, this divergence is played out here, right? We have a little divergence here that played out as well. And at this point, price starts trading with the flow index up to here at the, at the apex. There's a little bit of divergence, but not much. So it's not as bad looking as you would think it was, right? It's pretty decent trendline support. Looks like there's, I guess, a very, very loose wedge. Dude, that's so frustrating. So that's Roblox. CRM. If there's ever a good example of divergence playing out, here it is, right? Trading with price, comes back down. So a little divergence here, right? At this level here. Where price, or the flow index was buying as the price action was selling off. Well, that divergence, like this is a perfect example, right? Diverged here, return to the divergence. All right, as far as CRM is concerned, Wu-Tang reversal, 1, 2, 3 reversal. This is a good example of that, and seeing how we closed above it and we just ripped off of it. Now we're pulling back. Dark pull support 219.23. The flow index is currently barely bullishly diverged. I would need to see the flow index make a series of higher lows and higher highs and continue to maintain this little trend line that it's built for itself, right? I mean, looks pretty decent. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. So a 4 pullback would bring us back. We could go back to 218.57 and then make that third move up, or we could just launch off of this dark pull at 219.23 and then gap fill 225. Yeah, I like it. I like it. So the safe move is CRM above 221.50 for a move to 225. Contrarian, it breaks to 218.85. We test 217.70, 216.15, and then 214.215. Okay. Nvidia. All right, I got time for one more. 2 more. Nvidia. Payne, we got to wake them up. Okay. Nvidia, we have just consolidation. I'm going to keep an eye on it. We've gone over Nvidia quite a few times, but just looking at this makes me kind of want to just go trade a small cap or something, right? Disney, right? Disney doesn't move a lot, but the flow index is definitely, right? Definitely trying to make lower lows and lower highs. It's at dark pull support 142.02. I think we could pull back to 140, right? We got a white line right there. I don't want to draw it, but pull back to 140. So if we want to short Disney, right? Disney below 139.50, 138. What? All right, sorry, 1 second. But yeah, so Disney looks pretty decent. If Disney were to break above a 144, play it to 148, 150. All right, I got to run. Thanks for joining me. Darkpool Algo. I'm here every morning, Monday through Friday. Thanks for joining me. I will see you tomorrow. Stay safe, stay green. Hit me up in the chat. Find me in Discord if you need to. All right, bye.